Every morning, I do the same thing. I wake up slowly, stretch my fingers before my feet ever touch the floor, and thank God I can still move without pain. You see, at 92 years old, I've never once been hospitalized. No surgeries. No overnight stays. And no long list of prescriptions crowding my kitchen shelf. But it wasn't always like this. I remember when I turned 70, my friends started slipping, physically and emotionally. One had a bad fall on the porch. Another began forgetting names. Someone else started sleeping all day. I thought, well, that's just aging. But then I wondered, what if it isn't? What if feeling tired, losing balance, or waking up stiff every morning isn't just about getting older, but about how we start our day? It's easy to overlook the small things, what we do in the first 30 minutes after we wake up. But those small choices, done day after day, can shape how strong we feel at 70, 80, or even 90. Most people look for answers in pills or doctors. I found mine in habits. Simple, ordinary habits. In this video, I'll share the 7 morning rituals I've followed for decades. They're not complicated, they don't cost anything, and anyone, at any age, can try them. And at the end, I'll tell you the one habit I never skip, even when I'm feeling lazy or down. Because that one might just be the reason I'm still standing strong today. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. I wake up slowly, not with a jolt. Most people over 65 are familiar with the jarring feeling of waking up too quickly. 1 minute, you're dreaming peacefully. The next, your alarm goes off, your heart races, and your body feels stiff, unready. Maybe you swing your legs out of bed a bit too fast, feel dizzy, or even stumble on your way to the bathroom. Maybe you've chalked it up to age, thinking, well, that's just how mornings go now. It becomes so routine that we stop questioning it. Just another uncomfortable part of getting older. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if waking up in a rush is making things worse? What if the very way we rise out of bed is putting stress on our hearts, joints, and even our brain? Most people think the body just wears out as we age. But the truth is, how we treat our body when it's most vulnerable, like right after waking, can deeply affect how we feel the rest of the day. You see, when we sleep, our body shifts into a restorative state. Blood pressure lowers, heart rate slows, and muscles relax. It's like our internal systems go into night mode. But the moment we wake up, and especially if we rise too quickly, our blood pressure has to surge, our brain must reorient, and our muscles are suddenly asked to move and balance. For older adults, this sudden shift can be overwhelming. That's why rushing out of bed is linked to dizziness, imbalance, and even falls. The heart isn't ready, the brain isn't fully awake, and the joints are still stiff. It's not age, it's the shock of transition. So what's the solution? It's simpler than you think. Start by staying in bed for just 2 or 3 minutes after waking. Don't reach for your phone, don't turn on the TV. Just breathe. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your ankles and wrists. Slowly stretch your arms above your head. Then sit up slowly, letting your legs dangle off the side of the bed before standing. Some people like to say a short prayer or list 3 things they're grateful for. Others just focus on their breathing. Whatever you choose, make it a ritual of calm, not chaos. Think of it as a soft landing into your day, not a crash. I've done this every morning since I was 70. Back then, I used to leap out of bed the moment my eyes opened. I thought being fast meant being strong. But after one morning of nearly blacking out on the way to the bathroom, I knew I had to change something. A close friend of mine, David, a retired firefighter who's now 84, had a similar wake-up call. He tripped in the hallway one morning and ended up with a nasty bruise on his hip. His doctor said it was due to postural hypotension. His blood pressure dropped too low when he stood up too fast. That was the day he decided to slow down. Now, he takes 5 minutes each morning, still in bed, doing light stretches and deep breathing. He hasn't had a dizzy spell since. The beauty of this habit is that it costs nothing. It doesn't require fancy equipment or any special knowledge. It's just about honoring your body's pace, permitting yourself to wake up like the sun, gradually, gently, with intention. And the benefits? They're real. You'll likely notice fewer dizzy spells, steadier balance, and even less stiffness. Your heart rate will rise at a safer pace. Your brain will have time to orient itself, reducing morning fog. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a mindful practice that can help prevent unnecessary stress on your aging body. If you're watching this and thinking, well, that sounds nice, but I've always been a quick riser, I get it. Old habits die hard. But ask yourself this: is the way you're waking up helping you feel steady or setting you up to stumble? Small adjustments make a big difference when done consistently. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your robe, just pause. Breathe. Stretch. Let your body catch up to your mind. Those first few minutes of the day can be a gift or a risk. You get to choose. And remember, growing older doesn't mean rushing less. It means honoring the rhythm that keeps you safe, steady, and strong. Waking up slowly may sound small, but it's one of the quiet habits that's kept me out of the hospital for 92 years. You deserve mornings that don't start with a jolt, but with peace. 2. I drink a glass of warm water before anything else. For most of my life, the first thing I reached for in the morning wasn't a pill bottle or even a cup of coffee. It was a simple glass of warm water. Nothing fancy, just warm enough to feel comforting, like a gentle wake-up call from the inside out. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Really? Water? That's it. And I get it. We've all grown up hearing about breakfast being the most important meal, or how coffee gets us going. But hardly anyone talks about what your body needs first thing in the morning. And trust me, after 92 years of waking up feeling clear-headed, regular, and strong, I can tell you that it all starts with water. Think about it. You've been asleep for 7, maybe 8 hours. That's a long time for your body to go without hydration. While you sleep, you lose moisture just by breathing. Your organs, your brain, your kidneys, your heart, have been working quietly all night. And when you wake up, they're dry. They need water, not caffeine, to function smoothly. But here's the part most folks don't realize. Warm water makes a difference. It's not just about drinking any liquid. It's about drinking something your body can absorb easily, without shock. Cold water first thing in the morning can tighten blood vessels and slow digestion. Warm water, on the other hand, gently wakes up your digestive system, helps circulation, and even loosens up any overnight mucus in your throat or chest. I once had a neighbor named Ellen. She's 78 now and used to wake up every morning feeling bloated and sluggish. She'd skip breakfast, drink her coffee black, and rush through her routine. When I suggested she try warm water first thing in the morning, she laughed. "Water doesn't wake me up," she said. But she tried it anyway. 1 week later she told me, "I can't explain it. I feel lighter. My belly's calmer, and I'm not so backed up anymore." Turns out, her sluggish mornings weren't due to age. They were due to dehydration and digestive slowdown. A simple glass of warm water made all the difference. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. And it's not just anecdotal. There's real science behind it. Warm water in the morning stimulates your gastrointestinal tract. That means it helps your intestines move things along, naturally, gently, without the need for fiber supplements or laxatives. It also encourages bile production, which helps digest fats better. Some studies have even shown that rehydrating immediately after waking up helps with brain function and blood pressure regulation. So how do you do it? It's easy. I keep a mug right next to my kettle. Each morning, while I'm stretching or doing my gratitude breathing in bed, I turn on the kettle to warm, not boil, the water. It should be around the temperature of the soup, not hot tea. If you like, you can add a slice of lemon, but plain water works just fine. I drink about 8 to 10 ounces slowly, savoring it like a quiet ritual. It's my way of saying, "Body, I'm listening. Let's start the day right." For those who struggle with constipation, frequent headaches, or even joint stiffness in the morning, this small act of hydration can help tremendously. Think of it like watering a plant that's been sitting in the dark all night. You don't dump ice water on it. You give it warmth, gently, and watch it perk up. Some people ask, can I just drink cold water or orange juice? Well, you can, but it's not the same. Cold water may feel refreshing, but it slows the digestive process. Juice adds sugar before your body's ready for it. Coffee dehydrates you even more. Warm water, however, supports your body's natural rhythm. It works with you, not against you. I'll never forget the time I skipped this habit for a few days while visiting family out of town. I was off my usual rhythm, and each morning I felt a little more tired, a bit more off balance. My digestion slowed, and my mind felt cloudy. When I finally got back home and back to my warm water ritual, it was like flipping a switch. I felt present again, energized, but calmly so. It's that subtle, but that powerful. Here's what I always say, before you put anything else into your body, coffee, food, medication, give it water. Your cells are thirsty. Your brain needs fluid to think clearly. Your joints need lubrication. It's not magic, it's nature. And nature knows what it's doing. If you're just starting and the idea of changing your routine feels overwhelming, don't worry. This is one of the easiest changes you can make. It takes 2 minutes, costs nothing, and doesn't require a prescription or a special supplement. Just warm water, a quiet moment, and a bit of intention. Tomorrow morning, I invite you to try it. Don't grab your phone or rush to the kitchen. Just warm up some water, hold it in your hands, and take a few slow sips. Feel it settle into your stomach. Feel your body respond with a gentle, thank you. It's such a small act, but it carries big wisdom. The wisdom that's carried me through 9 decades of good mornings. And if anyone tells you it's too simple to matter, remember this. It's the small things, done every day, that build a strong life. Warm water may not make headlines, but it just might help you feel better than you've felt in years. You're not too old to feel light, regular, and energized in the morning. Start with a single glass. Start with yourself. Start today. 3. I stretch even before I stand. Most mornings, we wake up stiff. Our joints creak a little. The back feels tight, the legs feel heavy. For many people over 65, that stiffness becomes so familiar that they barely notice it anymore. It's just part of aging, right? You wake up, toss the covers off, sit up too fast, and hope your legs hold steady as you shuffle toward the bathroom. That first minute of movement can feel more like a test than a beginning. But what if I told you that the way you move in those first 60 seconds sets the tone for your entire day? We often think we should push through the stiffness. The best thing we can do is get moving right away. But here's a gentle truth. Forcing your body into motion too quickly is like trying to drive a cold car down the highway. You might get moving, but not without strain, and sooner or later, something breaks down. What your body wants is to be invited, not forced. That's why I never get out of bed before I stretch. Even before I sit up, I spend a few quiet minutes giving my body a chance to wake up with me, not despite me. And it has made all the difference. You see, when we sleep, our muscles relax, but our circulation slows. We're not moving, so fluids pool in our joints and tissues. That's why we feel stiff, especially in the back, hips, shoulders, and knees. For older adults, this natural stiffness can be more intense, and if we ignore it or rush through it, we increase our risk of falls, pulled muscles, and even chronic pain. Science backs this up. Gentle stretching in the morning helps stimulate blood flow, improves joint flexibility, and activates the muscles gradually. It tells the brain, we're awake now, and we're safe to move. Stretching also helps reduce inflammation and ease pressure in areas like the lower back and neck, where so many older adults carry tension overnight. And yet, so many of us skip this step. Years ago, my good friend Ruth, she's 86 now, used to wake up and swing her legs over the bed without a second thought. She always said, "I've got things to do, no time to lie around." But one morning, she stood up too fast, twisted her knee, and spent the next 6 weeks using a cane. It wasn't a fall. It wasn't a slip. It was simply moving before her body was ready. After that, she started asking me about my morning routine. When I told her I stretch before I even get up, she said, I thought that was something only yoga people do. But now, it's part of her morning too. And she hasn't had another injury since. So what does stretching in bed look like? It's not complicated. While lying on your back, start by wiggling your fingers and toes. Let your ankles rotate in slow circles. Then stretch your arms overhead like you're reaching for the ceiling. Gently bend one knee, then the other. Pull each knee toward your chest, slowly and carefully. If your back is tight, rock gently side to side. Roll your shoulders. Open and close your hands. Nothing forced, just waking each part of the body, like saying good morning. After a minute or two of that, sit up slowly. Let your feet dangle off the side of the bed. Roll your neck side to side. Take a few deep breaths. Then, and only then, stand up. I spend about 3 to 5 minutes doing this every morning. It's my way of saying thank you to a body that's carried me for 92 years. Not demanding it to perform, but encouraging it to show up, gently. And the benefits? They're immediate. I don't feel as tight. I walk steadier. My knees don't complain as much when I go down the stairs. I haven't had a serious fall in decades. I truly believe it's because I give my joints and muscles the respect they deserve at the start of every day. You might be wondering, is this worth doing if I already have arthritis? Let me say this, especially if you have arthritis, it's worth doing. Gentle stretching doesn't cure joint pain, but it keeps things from getting worse. It increases circulation, lubricates the joints, and sends signals to the brain that movement is possible. Safe, even. You don't have to be flexible. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be willing. If you're worried you won't remember what to do, write yourself a little list and keep it on your nightstand. Or just do whatever feels natural. There's no wrong way to stretch gently. The goal isn't to achieve a perfect pose. The goal is to meet your body with kindness before asking it to carry you through another day. I understand that old habits die hard. Many of us grew up with the idea that rest was lazy and speed meant strength. But what I've learned in 9 decades of living is that wisdom often whispers, not shouts. And my body, when I listen, always whispers the same thing. Take your time. I'll be ready when you are. So tomorrow morning, before you swing your legs over the side of the bed, pause. Breathe. Stretch. Let your body arrive with you. Even a few small movements can shift the way your day unfolds. Because growing older doesn't mean losing control. It means learning to partner with your body, not push it. And the best part? No special equipment, no gym, and no cost. Just you, your breath, and a willingness to greet your body with the same care you'd offer a dear old friend. You've earned mornings that begin with ease. You've earned a body that feels welcomed into the day. Start with a stretch, and see how far it takes you. 4. I step outside, rain or shine. When I was younger, mornings were always a rush. Kids to feed, work to get to, errands to run. I barely noticed the sun rising or the sound of birds in the yard. But as the years passed and life slowed down, I realized something strange. Even though I had more time, I still spent most mornings indoors. I'd get up, move from the bedroom to the kitchen, maybe the living room, and before I knew it, half the day was gone and I hadn't even opened the door. And the odd thing was, I started to feel off. A little low, a little foggy, like something was missing. Sound familiar? Many people over 65 experience this quiet, creeping feeling of heaviness in the mornings. You're not sad exactly, but not quite awake either. You shuffle around in slippers and open the blinds, but it's not enough. You don't realize that your body, and especially your spirit, is starving for something simple, something free, and something deeply healing, natural light. We often assume that staying indoors is the safe choice, especially as we get older. It's too cold, we say. It might rain. I'll go out later. But what if I told you that stepping outside first thing in the morning might be one of the most powerful things you can do for your mood, your sleep, your balance, and even your memory? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You see, our bodies are wired to follow the rhythms of nature. It's called our circadian rhythm, a kind of internal clock that controls when we feel sleepy, when we feel alert, and how well our brain and body work throughout the day. That rhythm is regulated by light. But not just any light. It needs to be real outdoor light, sunlight, even on a cloudy day, to tell your body, wake up, it's morning. Let's get going. When we stay indoors, relying on lamps or even bright windows, we don't get enough of the full spectrum light our brain needs to reset. That's why older adults who rarely go outside often struggle with sleep, depression, low energy, and even cognitive decline. It's not just about vitamin D. It's about reconnecting to the rhythm that's been guiding life on Earth for thousands of years. That's why I make it a point, every single morning, rain or shine, to step outside. Sometimes it's just for 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes I go for a slow walk around the garden or just stand on the porch with a warm drink in my hand. I breathe in the air, I look at the sky, I feel the breeze on my face. Even on cold or wet days, I bundle up and go out, just for a short moment. And every time, I come back in feeling more alive, more myself. I remember my neighbor, Harold. He's 81 now. After his wife passed, he stopped going outside in the mornings. He'd wake up, sit in front of the TV with the shades drawn, and slowly lose the sparkle in his eyes. I invited him one day to join me for a 5-minute morning walk. At first, he said no. But after some coaxing, he gave in. We walked up the block, hardly saying a word, just listening to the birds and the wind in the trees. When we got back, he said something I'll never forget. I feel like I've come back from somewhere. From that day on, he started stepping outside each morning, just like me. Over time, his energy returned, and so did his smile. You don't need to live near nature to benefit. Whether it's a garden, a sidewalk, a balcony, or just opening the back door and standing for a moment. What matters is that your eyes see the sky and your skin feels the air. That exposure tells your brain it's time to be alert. It kickstarts your metabolism, sharpens your mind, and even helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle so you feel sleepier at night when you're supposed to. And the benefits go even deeper. Just being outside has been shown to reduce blood pressure, improve immune function, and ease anxiety. It reminds you in a quiet way that you're still connected to the world, still part of something larger than yourself. If you're thinking, but what if it's raining? I'll say this, that's part of the rhythm too. Rainy mornings are nature's way of slowing us down. I bring a small umbrella or sit under my porch roof and listen. The sound of rain, the smell of the wet ground, it awakens a different part of the soul. You don't need sunshine to feel alive. You just need presence. So how can you start this habit? Begin small. Leave a warm coat or a sweater near the door so you're ready. Make your first cup of tea or coffee and take it outside with you. Just 2 minutes. Notice the colors. Notice the smells. Feel your body in space, not confined between walls, but open to the air. Some mornings I see the sunrise. Other mornings I just watch a squirrel dart along the fence. But always, I return inside feeling grounded. And that grounding carries me through the day, with steadier steps, a clearer mind, and a lighter heart. It's easy to think that life happens indoors. But life, the kind that heals, awakens, and sustains, starts the moment you step outside. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for the news or shuffle to the kitchen, open the door. Rain or shine, cold or warm, let the world remind you, you're still here and the day is still yours. Because aging doesn't mean shrinking your world. It means finding new ways to stay connected to it. One step outside is all it takes. 5. I write one sentence in my journal. When I was younger, I never thought of myself as someone who kept a journal. That was for teenagers with secret crushes or poets scribbling in cafes. I was too busy raising kids, working 2 jobs, and keeping dinner warm. Even in retirement, I thought, why would I write things down? I already lived them. But something changed when I hit 80. I started forgetting little things. What I'd eaten the day before, the name of someone I used to see every Sunday at church, even how I felt last week when the garden finally bloomed. Not in a frightening way, but in a slow, quiet kind of drifting. Days began to blur together. And I thought, is this just part of aging? Is this just how it goes? But maybe it doesn't have to. Maybe the problem isn't that we forget. It's that we never stop to notice in the first place. Maybe we won't lose our memories. Maybe we just don't write them down. That's when I started a habit that's now one of the most important parts of my day, writing one sentence in a journal every morning. Just one. Not a full page. Not a letter to myself. Just a single sentence, about how I'm feeling, what I saw outside, something that made me smile yesterday, or even just a phrase like, still here. Still grateful. And you know what? That one sentence has changed everything. There's science behind it, too. Studies show that writing regularly, even just a few lines, helps improve memory, strengthen emotional well-being, and even reduce stress. It gives the brain something to hold on to, like an anchor in the tide of passing days. For older adults especially, journaling can slow cognitive decline and enhance focus. It's not about being eloquent or poetic, it's about presence. About pausing long enough to say, this happened. I was here. My friend Marjorie, who's 84 and has arthritis in her hands, thought she couldn't do it. My writing's too messy, she said. And I don't have anything interesting to say. I told her it doesn't matter what it looks like, or even what the sentence says. Some days my sentence is, didn't sleep well, but the sunrise was worth it. Other days it's just, coffee tasted especially good. Small things. Ordinary things. But strung together over weeks and months, they become a life. Marjorie tried it. She started keeping a small notebook next to her tea kettle. Each morning, after she took her first sip, she'd jot down a single line. Now, whenever she feels low or foggy, she flips through those pages and remembers. The smile from a neighbor. The way her tulips opened on the windowsill. A phone call from her grandson. I feel like I have proof that my days still matter, she told me. And she's right. That's exactly what a journal is. Proof that you're still here, still noticing, still living. So how do you begin? Keep a small notebook and pen near wherever you spend your mornings. On the breakfast table, next to your coffee, by your favorite chair. When you wake up, after stretching or drinking your warm water, take a quiet moment. Look around. How do you feel? What do you see? What are you grateful for? Don't overthink it. Just write one sentence. That's it. You don't have to start with anything profound. You don't have to spell every word right. There's no judgment here. The act of writing is the medicine, not the words themselves. Over time, your journal becomes a quiet friend, a place to return to reflect, to remember. And if you're thinking, I'm too old to start a habit like this, let me tell you, I started at 87. I'm 92 now. And that little notebook, with pages filled with sentences like, the birds are loud this morning, or made it down the steps without holding the rail, has become one of my most cherished possessions. Not because it's grand, but because it's true. It's mine. Some people keep photo albums. Others keep scrapbooks. I keep sentences. A simple string of moments that remind me I'm still part of the story. And there's something powerful in that. Because aging, more than anything, is about staying connected. To yourself, to your voice, to the rhythm of your days. Writing helps you do that. It slows the world down, even if just for a moment, and invites you to be here. So tomorrow morning, after you stretch and step outside, after you sip your warm water and take that first breath of new air, pick up a pen. Write one sentence. One line of your life. And know that it matters. Not because anyone else will read it, but because you did. Because you chose to notice, to remember, to record. And in doing so, you said to yourself, I am still here. And this day, like all the others, is mine to witness. It may seem like a small act, but over time, it becomes a powerful practice. One that reminds you that even as the world changes, even as the body slows, your inner life, the part that observes, that feels, that remembers, is still alive and well. So give yourself that gift. A notebook. A sentence. A moment of quiet reflection. You don't need to be a writer. You just need to be. 6. I eat the same simple breakfast every day. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Most mornings, people stare into their fridge or pantry wondering, what should I eat today? They shuffle from cereal boxes to coffee makers, maybe nibble on a slice of toast, maybe skip breakfast altogether. Others pile on pancakes or bacon, looking for comfort in a big plate of something warm. It's become almost a game, finding variety, switching things up, making breakfast exciting. But at 92, I've learned something different. I eat the same breakfast every single day. Not because I'm boring, not because I'm stubborn, but because simplicity works. And because starting your day with something reliable, gentle, and nourishing isn't just convenient, it's healing. Now, you might be thinking, isn't variety important? Or, doesn't the body need different nutrients every day? That's what I used to think too. I used to rotate between eggs, pastries, granola, and whatever was left over from dinner the night before. And sure, some mornings were fine. But others left me feeling bloated, sluggish, or just off. Then one day years ago, I read something a doctor wrote: "Your digestive system is like an old friend. Treat it gently and consistently, and it will reward you." That stuck with me. And it made me realize that our bodies, especially as we age, crave routine. Our stomachs, our blood sugar, our metabolism. They all function better when we treat them with predictable, calm care. That's why I stopped mixing things up and started building a breakfast I could count on, nutritionally, emotionally, and digestively. So every morning, I eat a bowl of warm oatmeal, topped with a tablespoon of ground flaxseed, a handful of berries if I have them, and a drizzle of honey. I drink a glass of warm water, and sometimes a cup of weak tea. That's it. And I've never felt better. You might be surprised, but there's science to back this up. Oats are rich in soluble fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and support digestive health, especially important as we get older. Flaxseed is a powerhouse of omega-3s and natural fiber that keeps things moving without harsh stimulants. And berries, even frozen ones, are packed with antioxidants that support brain health and fight inflammation. It's a quiet powerhouse of breakfast, and it's gentle on a body that no longer bounces back the way it did at 40. But beyond the science, there's something deeply comforting about not having to think about breakfast. The decision is made. The ingredients are there. The body knows what to expect. And that sense of peace, of not starting the day with confusion or blood sugar spikes, has been one of the kindest things I've ever done for myself. My friend Geraldine, she's 76, used to joke that she could never eat the same thing every day. "I'd go crazy," she said. But then she started dealing with indigestion. Her mornings got harder. After listening to me ramble on about oatmeal for the third time, she decided to try it for a week. "Just 7 days," she said. "That was 2 years ago. And now, it's her comfort too. I still crave variety," she laughs. "But not in the morning. My body says thank you when I keep it simple." And that's the key here. As we age, our digestion slows. Our blood pressure fluctuates more. Our hormones change. And our bodies don't respond as kindly to big swings in sugar, fat, or even portion sizes. A consistent, light, nutrient-dense breakfast helps stabilize everything, from mood to memory to bathroom habits. It's not a miracle, but it's a method, and a kind one. If you're used to coffee and nothing else, or pastries and bacon, you don't have to change everything overnight. Try starting with something light. Maybe just oatmeal and berries. Maybe plain yogurt with a spoonful of chia seeds and a few slices of banana. The idea isn't to copy what I do exactly. It's to find your version of simple and steady. Something your body can trust. Something your gut can digest. Something your mind can start the day with, without the roller coaster of highs and lows. And it's not just about health. It's about rhythm. A morning meal that brings ease, not effort. A routine that doesn't just feed your body, but anchors your day. There's something sacred in sitting down with the same breakfast each morning. I take my time. I breathe. I look out the window and see what the sky is doing. I taste the warmth. I feel full, not stuffed, just satisfied. And I know that I've given myself something good before the world asks anything from me. That, to me, is what self-care looks like at this age. It's not lotions and massages and vitamins with fancy labels. It's a warm bowl of something reliable, eaten slowly, with gratitude. So if you're waking up unsure of how to start your day, or if you're tired of feeling foggy, gassy, jittery, or out of rhythm, try simplifying your breakfast. Choose something soft, warm, and real. Repeat it. Trust it. Let it become a part of you. Because aging well isn't about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it better. And a humble, healthy breakfast you can count on is one of the best places to start. So tomorrow morning, give yourself that small gift. A meal your body will thank you for, not just that day, but in the weeks, months, and years to come. Because you deserve easy mornings. Calm mornings. Mornings that nourish not just your stomach, but your life. And it might just start with the same simple bowl. Every single day. 7. I don't check my phone until after I move. I still remember the first time I held a smartphone. I was in my 70s. My grandson showed me how to tap and swipe, and suddenly, the world was at my fingertips. Photos, news, messages, and even videos of dancing cats. Felt like magic. But over time, I noticed something odd. I'd wake up, reach for my phone before my feet even touched the floor, and scroll. Just a quick check, I'd say. But 15 minutes later, I'd be reading bad news, watching videos that left me feeling anxious or replying to texts that could have waited. I hadn't even sipped water, hadn't stretched, hadn't stepped outside, and already, I felt drained. Sound familiar? Many people don't realize how much checking your phone first thing in the morning affects your mind and mood. It seems innocent, even productive, staying informed, staying connected. But the truth is, it's not helping us feel more in control. It's doing the opposite. Here's the question that changed everything for me. What if your first thoughts of the day didn't come from a screen, but from you? You see, your brain is in a delicate state when you wake up. It's just shifted from deep rest into alertness. The chemicals in your brain, like cortisol and dopamine, are rebalancing. And what you feed it in those first 15 minutes determines your mental tone for the whole day. When we jump into emails, news headlines, or social media, we flood the brain with stress and comparison before it's even fully awake. Your heart rate goes up, your anxiety levels rise, and without even realizing it, you've surrendered your inner peace to the outside world. You've let someone else, some headline, some notification, decide how your day begins. That's why I made a simple rule for myself. No phone until after I've moved. And by moved, I don't mean a workout. I mean stretching, drinking warm water, stepping outside, and maybe writing a sentence in my journal. I take care of myself first, before I let the world in. It may sound small, but it's had a big impact. I feel more grounded. My mornings are quieter, and more intentional. I don't wake up in a rush of bad news or someone else's demands. I wake up in my own life, not someone else's drama. My friend Dale, a retired librarian who's 79, used to check his phone the moment he opened his eyes. It helps me feel connected, he said. But he also struggled with sleep, anxiety, and that constant feeling of being behind on the day. I challenged him to try skipping the phone for just 1 week. Instead, he'd sit on his porch, stretch his legs, or even water the plants first. At first, he said it felt weird. Like I was missing something. But by day 3, he told me, I think I'm sleeping better. And I'm a little calmer. Now he calls it his phone-free window, and he protects it like it's sacred. And honestly, it is sacred. Because how we start our day sets the tone for everything that follows. If we begin with noise, we chase quiet all day. But if we begin with stillness, we carry peace with us, even into the noise. You might be wondering, but what if I need my phone for the time? Or to check on the weather? That's fair. But here's the truth. Clocks still exist. So do windows. You can buy a $10 alarm clock and look outside for the forecast. Or check your phone after your body has moved and your mind has centered. What matters isn't just what the phone shows you, but what it replaces. Moments of silence. Moments of breath. Moments of self. And those moments are especially important as we get older. Why? Because our minds need more quiet to stay sharp. Our hearts need more calm to stay steady. And our mornings are one of the last spaces in the day that belong entirely to us. By delaying the phone, you're making a statement. This is my time. I am not rushing into the world. I am tending to myself. And here's what I suggest if you want to try this habit. 1. Leave your phone outside the bedroom, or at least across the room. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. 2. Replace the habit. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for a glass of warm water. 3. Stretch, even just 2 to 3 minutes lying in bed or beside it. 4. Step outside, even briefly, to feel fresh air and see real light. 5. Write one sentence about how you feel or what you notice. 6. Then, and only then, check your phone if you need to. That's what I do every morning. And it's made my days feel more spacious, less reactive, and more in tune with what really matters. I'm not against phones. I love seeing pictures of my great-grandkids or reading funny messages from old friends. But I believe we have to reclaim our mornings, especially as we age. Our time is precious. Our peace is precious. And our attention is the most valuable thing we own. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open and your hand starts to reach for that screen, pause. Take a breath. Feel your body. Stretch. Drink. Step outside. Let you be the first voice you hear, not the internet. Because growing older isn't about keeping up. It's about slowing down with purpose. And the world can wait, just a little, while you remember who you are before it tells you what to think. That, to me, is the most important notification of all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health guru. I'm just someone who's lived a long time and paid attention. At 92, I've seen friends come and go. I've watched people grow old too fast, and others age with grace and strength. And I've learned that it's not about having perfect genes or perfect luck. It's about small choices, quiet decisions, gentle routines that say, I care about this body. I care about this day. These 7 habits I've shared with you, they're not flashy. They won't go viral. But they've carried me through decades without a single hospital stay. They've helped me move, think, and live with dignity. And I believe they can do the same for you, no matter your age or your starting point. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just pick one. Start tomorrow. Maybe it's drinking warm water. Maybe it's stepping outside before you check the news. Maybe it's simply sitting up slowly and saying, thank you, before you stand. You're not too old. It's not too late. And your mornings still belong to you. If you found something here that resonated, I hope you'll leave a comment. Tell me which habit you're going to try. And if you already have your morning ritual, I'd love to hear it. We're never too old to learn from each other. Thank you for spending part of your morning with me. Now go take care of yourself, one small habit at a time. You're worth it.